And yes, you can thank my daughter for spitting up on my shoulder right before I started filming. She wanted to get her mark in this video as well. Not too bad. But she's so cute though, so I'll allow it. Welcome back to the show, everybody. At 6'6", it is hard to find a vehicle that fits, especially a vehicle for the future, like electric vehicles. Joining me today is a 2020 Nissan Leaf. Full electric. Very sleek. Side note, this thing is a lot faster than it looks. A lot faster. Zip around town and not feel bad about polluting the planet, because you're not. Unless your electricity is driven from coal or nuclear or something weird like that. Oh boy. If you opt for the better battery, which is 62 kilowatt hours like this one has, as opposed to the 40 kilowatt hours, that will get you 226 miles of emissions-free driving. Assuming where you're getting your electricity is hydro or solar or wind. This is a 5-door hatchback. Is that the hot hatchbacks are where it's at. Hatchbacks is where it's at. So, I think it would behoove you to join me in taking a tour of the 2020 Nissan Leaf. Pretty standard looking Nissan key, except it has an extra button for opening the charge door, lock and unlock, and panic button. As long as you have the key on your person, in your pocket, on your purse, you can just simply touch this button here to lock and unlock the vehicle. 2 beeps is lock, right? Oh, yes it is. And then 1 beep is unlock. It's worth noting that you can change the settings in this car to allow you to lock, unlock, or automatically lock and unlock the charge port, so that when you're at a public charger and you get those people that are weird and want to steal the plug out of your car, believe me, it happens, just to spite you, you can do that. It locks with the car, and you have to push the charge open door button to unlock it. I don't know if you can hear that, but it just locked and unlocked just now by opening the door. The reason why you would not want to have that is that if you're at a public charger and you can actually buy these little tags or make your own to where it says, hey, I'm just charging just to top off. It's not 100% imperative that I get this charge. So you can go ahead and take the plug out if you need to. It's like proper EV etiquette. It's something that a lot of people don't even know about. Anyway, moving on. Opening the driver's door actually has a very, very, very large opening. I mean, you can fit a couch through here. I appreciate that. Getting into the Leaf, ooh, that is a whole nother ball game. It's a little tight. Unfortunately, the seat is all the way back and all the way down. And unfortunately, even with my feet behind the pedals, your knee will hit the steering column here. Speaking of steering column, it is a manual tilt telescopic with a okay range of motion. It's not too bad. It's not the greatest. The power electric steering in this car is absolutely just beautiful. It's very light. It stays light. I know there are people that like to have settings that change that. That's great. This stays super light. I really appreciate it in this car. This car is actually, dare I say it, fun to drive. It has barely any soft touch materials where your elbow sits. Automatic window for just the driver. Power locks, of course, power windows. Power side view mirrors. It's also worth noting that the side view mirrors on both sides do fold in manually. That's something that I think some manufacturers are missing from their cars, EV or not. If you have to park on the street, for example, I think the ability to have that little extra security of being able to fold in your side view mirrors, power or manually, is just one more or less thing I personally think to worry about. This comes standard with Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. There is plenty of headroom. The manual style lever. Let's see if my head will actually touch the ceiling. No, the seat stops before my head touches the ceiling. So serious headroom. But unfortunately, it's just, you really have to so as you're driving, your leg has to do this weird thing where you kind of got to sit like you're riding a horse, with your legs straddling a horse, kind of, I guess is the best way to put it, which over time will start to probably cause issues in your back. I know this from experience. I used to have a Honda Insight, the generation before the one now, not the one when it was a two-door teardrop car. That was cool. But the second one, and the space was not very good, and I had to drive like that. And my back was killing me. I had an hour drive one way. Oof. That would absolutely kill my back. Over time, it would just... I feel like if I held on to that car today, I would have irreversible damage to my spine or something. Armrest is in a good spot for a tall driver. The headrests do come up a little bit. They don't come up all the way. But they don't come up a crazy amount, but they do come up enough to hit the back of my head. And I really appreciate that. Let's go check out the back seat. All right. Uh-oh. The back door, another good one. The back door opens up with plenty of clearance in the back to get your car seat in and out. As you can see, I have a car seat, a rear-facing car seat already in here, and the passenger seat does have to be pushed up a little bit to accommodate this. Okay. Ooh. It's a little tight. At least the back of the seat is soft, but you will have to, once again, you'll have to do the cowboy straddle thing. And your legs will have to go on either side. Let's see if I can close the door and not have my leg be pinched between the seat and the door here. Okay, very good. So no, the knees have lots of room up here. So 3 tall people? I'd even venture to say 3 average size people. Not so much. Headroom, even though this is a hot hatch, the headroom is not as good as, like, for example, the Honda Clarity, which is a sedan, a very tall sedan. But that is weird. Unfortunately, your head does hit. There is no armrest and no map pocket behind the driver. There is a map pocket behind the passenger, so as a driver you would be able to get into that. So that makes more sense. If you had to choose one to be missing, it probably should be the driver anyway, right? So yeah, my head does hit. Unfortunately, the seat back does not recline, which would have helped. The headrests do come up. They actually come up high enough to where they hit the headliner. So yeah, pretty comfy back here, all things considered. But unfortunately, this is not the most comfortable place for a 6+ footer for a long period of time. But 2 car seats would fit back here perfectly fine. When I first saw this, I thought these were window switches for whatever reason. They are actually, see what I mean? I thought they were window switches. They're actually charging ports. 2 USB-A charging ports right there. Now this is interesting. This is a small hump in a plastic panel right here. Almost like a transmission tunnel in a gasoline rear-wheel drive car. And this is not that. That is probably covering up some of the big battery underneath the car, because that's where it lives, underneath probably about 1 to 2/3 of the entire car's undercarriage is giant battery. Oh yes. YouTube super famous and handsome YouTube vloggerologist by day, and then super awesome handyman by night. Coming to a theater near you. Rated R. Over here, this is where you will find the air compressor for a flat tire. And a fix-a-flat kit, if you can see that behind there. That's it. That's all you get. Unfortunately, underneath this floor here is nothing. Underneath this floor here is yet again nothing. This is all flat floor. There is nothing under here, no extra storage or anything, and definitely not a spare tire, which is rare anyway for EVs. It's funny. One of the things I did notice is that when you do have one pedal driving engaged, that button right there, and you're already traveling at like a highway speed of 65, 75, whatever, and you're going to want to make a pretty aggressive stop or slow down, what you will find is that the air conditioning will actually start to get a little bit colder, because at that point the regenerative braking is pumping in a lot of energy back into the system. So for a hot second there, no pun intended, your air conditioning is actually a little bit colder as you're using the regen brakes to bring the vehicle to the stop during one pedal driving. One pedal driving is the only way to go. Cabin is actually quiet, believe it or not. Desert views here. Just coming back from a 100-mile trip. It has standard cruise control, which was shocking. I thought it would have had adaptive cruise control, but no worries there. It does have active lane keep monitoring, so the steering wheel vibrates and you get a little buzzer that tells you, hey, you're getting way too close to that line there. Single zone automatic air conditioning. There's your power button. There's a 12-volt outlet to plug in whatever adapter you want to. USB-A and USB-C. USB-A is what I'm currently plugged into for Android Auto, which you see here. It's got a lot of things you can monitor the battery, even the temperature of the battery, which is an interesting touch. Because currently it's like 87 degrees now, 86 degrees. So the battery's at nominal temperature, that's good.
What you're listening to here is the backup sound that this car makes when you put it into reverse. I thought it was super neat and I had a lot of fun playing with it. And of course, as always, there's the EV drone sound that pretty much is federally mandated for all EVs to have, because they're so quiet. You gotta have something that alerts people and animals that you're coming. My time with the Leaf was super short, but it was nothing short than fulfilling in many ways. This car was a lot quicker than I thought it would have been. They don't really, market this thing as a Tesla fighter or anything like that, but it was definitely a lot more zippy than I think it should be. Um, so getting in and out of traffic and out of your own way is not a problem. The space, unfortunately, is just not there. Uh, and it pains me to say that because this car is very affordable. I mean, very affordable. Pre-COVID and chip shortage pricing, I mean, you could have got into one of these things for around 20 grand, 20 to $27,000. We'll just call it safe around there. This car gains my respect when it comes to its affordability. Its userability is good, standard Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. At 226 miles of range, I really didn't feel like there was anything missing. Honestly, I took a 100-mile round trip and would have been just fine. The charging network is everywhere. Chatamo, which is that fast charging network, that's not really super prevalent in the US at least. So DC fast charging can be a bit of a stretch if that's something you're looking for. Don't get me wrong, it's out there. I was able to charge for free at a Nissan dealership somewhere around town. Um, of course, after hours. During hours, they probably give you the crazy eyes. But I was able to DC fast charge, and it took about 45 minutes to an hour. I can't remember where I was, but so it was super quick. I think I was charging at like 150 kilowatts, maybe. I can't remember, but still, I think this is a pretty decent, solid vehicle. If you're 6'1" or around thereabouts, I think this would fit you perfectly. But if you're like 6'3" and of course 6'6", this is a little tight all the way around. If I had to give it a score, one being the lowest, 10 being the highest, I'd say it's a solid 6, maybe a 6.1. So you can take that for whatever it's worth. Well, folks, that's our show. If you're wondering where the music is, well, you'd be right to ask that question. Unfortunately, the music situation with the copyrights, and even if it says it's royalty free and blah blah blah, over time the artist could change their mind and say, you know what, I want to get paid for these. So the whole music thing has kind of gotten out of hand. So unfortunately, I'm gonna have to drop it from my shows. It was a big part of the show. So unfortunately, until I figure out something else, maybe even make my own music. From now, we're just gonna be weirdos and keep it silent. You just have to fall asleep to the sound of my voice, right? Well, anyway, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate the views. We have hit, at this time, 100 subscribers. That is huge to me. It may not be huge to you, but it's huge to me. So I really appreciate everybody just getting in there and showing your support. It really means a lot to me. We're going to start getting real involved here. When we start hitting milestones, we're going to start giving out away prizes. I'm not going to tell you what they are yet. It could be a new car. Who knows? No, I don't know about that just yet, but we will be giving away things. We're going to start possibly getting hats and shirts and things like that. So we're really going to take off here, folks. So I hope you're sticking around for this, and I really hope you're picking up what I'm putting down. That's all for now. We'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.